Much has been said and talked about the prisoner traumatization, but not much has been talked about and researched about the vicarious traumatization of correctional officers. Hi, I'm Carl Torsbins, former deputy warden and author. Welcome to my video. The definition of vicarious traumatization, or VT, is a transformation in the self of a trauma worker or helper that results from empathetic engagement with traumatized clients and their reports of traumatic experiences. Anyone who copes with the pain and suffering of others day in and day out is susceptible to this event. Working inside prisons and jails, you just can't turn your mind and emotions on or off as you go to work or come home. It's very difficult to get a certain trauma-related thing out of your head, and after witnessing a blunt force assault or stabbing, or God forbid a hostage situation gone bad, it's really difficult to get it out of your head. In other words, it's hard to let go of such thoughts. How do you let go of the terrible things you hear and see on the job? Many of us, especially those in a helping or custodial profession, are secondary witnesses to trauma almost every day. As we listen to our prisoners tell about their personal trauma of being a witness to a death or sustained injuries, rape, violence, alcoholic families, drug addiction, or memories of childhood abuse, we bear witness to their victimization. Secondly, and more importantly for this video, we too are direct witnesses to such horrific acts while on the job and need to cope with them as well. We listen, we support, we validate their feelings and their experiences. We offer them the opportunity to let go of some of their burdens. As witnesses and guardians of the state, we can't help but take in some of the emotional pain they've left us with. As the prisoners release some of their pain, we take it in. By the end of the day, we've collected bits and pieces of accounts of trauma. We may have pictures in our mind or intense feelings running through our bodies. We become a witness to rape, abuse, violence, and death, and much more. In simple terms, this vicarious trauma is also indirectly experienced by professionals and volunteers as a secondary victimization. We haven't even begun to talk about the direct involvement of witnessing rape, abuse, violence, and death as a prison employee or correctional officer, and this kind of stress creates another level of anxiety or stress for us. Secondary victimization is a serious deal. It impacts the worker's family, life, personal relationships, behaviors, and other mental and emotional aspects of their lives. They must recognize the warning signs and be prepared to care for their own needs to cope with vicarious trauma. Sadly, there's been ample research done on prisoners and how prison life impacts their mental health and overall wellness. There's also been significant progress made with the treatment of mental health providers that are exposed to such conditions. It's been documented and reported via many different avenues of educational and research sources that prison life has its negative side as their living conditions and environmental influences limit their ability to maintain a stable and healthy lifestyle, as well as having access to limited essential services such as medical, dental, and mental health programs designed to provide reactive care rather than preventive care. It is my opinion that the academies of psychology and those professionals that conduct human research in distinguishing stress and other trauma-related illnesses are ignoring the needs of the correctional officer and those employees assigned inside the penitentiaries as well as the large metropolitan jail systems. Stress and distress are common factors to deal with daily during a day's work in the prison, but need to be addressed more vigorously by management to keep staff well. The fact that prison employees often don't report or seek help and treatment does not prevent the phenomenon to exist. There are many hidden descriptions of and reactions of trauma unreported. Common concepts rarely accepted as fact are burnout, fatigue, secondary traumatic stress, and work-related stressors that go with the job. Since little has been done to deal with and acknowledge the impact factors of work-related exposures to these prison workers, it may actually be revealed through research that there are other experiences that cause further distress and trauma to the worker and impacting their quality of life in a very significant way. It is time for management to develop and implement proactive treatment programs to assist prison workers and correctional officers in dealing with this trauma and secondary victimization. Assessments of personal trauma impact statements are overdue. A complete and accurate research paper is badly needed to outline and identify exactly what such direct trauma exposures causes in a process identified as VT. This assessment should identify and measure the existence of VT and how it impacts the personal attributes of all workers inside our jails and prisons. It would also help reduce staff turnover, reduce violence, stabilize the workforce, and provide therapeutic help or assistance to those identified in need of such a support mechanism. Thank you as always. Be safe. My source, Terry Spahn Nelson. Thank you.